Hi, I'm Bob Andresen. I'm the Director of Research Financial Services at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'm also a peer reviewer for the Incura peer review programs. Today I'm going to be talking to you about breaking down silos between pre-award and post-award. At every institution at some point in time, there is an inherent tension between pre-award and post-award. And it arises from competing priorities and responsibilities. Pre-award really has to deal quite a bit with proposal submission deadlines and award contract negotiation setup time metrics, and that creates real pressure on the amount of work that they can do in a very short compressed period of time. Post-award typically deals with awards over the entire life cycle of the award, which gives them a much longer time horizon to identify issues that come up during the life of the project or to encounter situations that weren't anticipated at the time of proposal or award negotiations. Because of that, inevitably communications can break down. Here are some suggestions on ways that you can break down silos by focusing on communications and processes. When you think about communications between pre-award and post-award, it's really important that they have opportunities to interact. That can be through team meetings. It can also be through informal conversations, but they really should have opportunities that they can talk through issues together. It should be encouraged and it should be facilitated as much as possible. So you can have brown bags. You can have set up conversations where a topic such as 3 problems or 3 situations that I've solved this month are brought up, and you can have pre-award people and post-award people bring up those situations so each of them can learn a little bit more about what the others are doing. Cross-training, having training sessions, focusing on what it is that that pre-award folks are working on or what post-award folks are working on really help as well. Celebrate successes through the whole life of the project. Oftentimes we make really good strides at making sure that people who work really hard to get proposals submitted or awards negotiated quickly are recognized, but make sure that other things on the post-award side also are celebrated, including timely submission of reports or successful audits. Those things really help build relationships and get both parties to see the situations working across the life cycle of the award. In terms of processes, it's really important to map out a process. Look at the process from the very beginning through the completion of the process. The life cycle of the award or the life cycle of the routing of a document are really critical. Look at where there are possible duplications. Look at where those responsibilities create bottlenecks or delays. And look at who is the best party to really deal with that situation. If it's a specific task that typically has been pre-award but makes more sense to do in post-award, move it. Don't worry about whether it's been assigned to a specific office previously. Put it where it really belongs and can be the most helpful. Other things you may want to consider in terms of processes or slightly bigger steps are look at structures of your teams. If pre-award and post-award are creating some artificial boundaries, look at if there's other possibilities. Look at whether it makes sense to organize your work by maybe sponsor. Does it make sense to have a unit created just dedicated to NIH awards? That team could be comprised of people who typically do pre-award responsibilities and post-award responsibilities, but deal with it with a sponsor-centric approach. You could also do that by looking at the constituencies you have within a college. So you may want to create a team that's dedicated to the School of Medicine or to the College of Engineering, again comprised of people who are both typically pre-award and or post-award. If you have the resources and you have the space, co-location is really important too, or it's a great option because it gives you the opportunity to actually have people physically located close by. Again, it builds those communication opportunities and really gives people a chance to work together. The silos are really created because we don't have the time or we don't have the ability to communicate. So the more opportunities you have to get people talking, get people working together, the easier it is to really make the work easier and to make people work together better. I hope these tips are helpful, and thank you very much for the opportunity, and we look forward to hearing from you from Incura peer review programs.